you already know what's going on, man. We had a little private chat. We won't get into that. Deady the Puncher, man. Let's talk about what you think about his just his kind of uprising has been, you know.
I watched, he's a 5-1, so he's had 6 fights to my 5, so 1 fight more. When he started off, he was really, rough around the edges, kind of wild and things like that. But after I believe after his first loss, you slowly started seeing the development in his game, especially with the striking and even his grappling a little bit too. And, he was always tough. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys that overcomes adversity and
Absolutely.
finds a way to come back to win. And I like that in the competitor. You know what I mean? Because it gets you in that frame as to where, like, if the going gets tough, where will you go? Either most people sink and they drown, or some people swim and they get to the shore. So, and he's one of those people that usually get to the shore. So,
Yeah, he's definitely that, man, and it shows. It really shows in his fights. He doesn't quit. I ain't no quit in him. I haven't seen that yet. And I've seen him get clocked a couple times.
yeah,
I guess one of the big things that I paid attention to. I watched all his fights and all your fights in succession the other night. I was watching all of them, and the thing is, the only thing that kind of concerns me, and I don't know if you think about this, but maybe his level of competition. He fought Sam the Dingus. He was really good. He fought Magic somebody and a Joe Dub. They were all competitive, but at the very same time, man, they were not a Red Reaper. So,
yeah.
do you have any thoughts about that? I mean, do you think y'all's competition levels together, or do you think it's kind of like, nah?
I mean, if you look at his last 3 fights, you look at the fight with Nighttime Guru, the Magic Mike fight, and the Joe fight. Then you look at my fight with Red Reaper, Space Shifter, and Carlos Carnage. And I mean, if you don't count the boxing match with Gripsy, it's like the level guys I went against were super tough. They were talented. They were good in all areas. The guys he were in, they were, particularly as I watched, they were good at one thing or another. They weren't good all the way around. So I'm curious to see how he does against a guy who has the tools standing up and who has the tools on the ground. So it'll be very, very interesting.
Yeah, man. That has been my biggest question, and I'm gonna ask him the very same thing, man. Do you think that your competition lines up?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, he's 5-1. He's won these fights, so it isn't as if he wasn't tested.
Yeah.
That is his case. Now, as far as you go, bro, would you say you've been tested? Because they be 3-minute fights, man. It's like, shit ends in seconds.
Yeah.
Would you say that you've been tested, man?
I believe, first 4 fights, my very first fights, the very first 4 were all first round stoppages, all within like a minute or less. My last MMA fight, actually that was my first fight that went to the decision, and I thought I really had to bring that dog out of me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially like each round, you know what I'm saying, despite, the circumstance or whatever was going on, I had to overcome, dig deep, bite down on my mouth guard, and win, and that's something I've always been good at. I find a way to win no matter what the challenge is in front of me.
Right. I remember that conversation. I do, and you were at a disadvantage. You were at a disadvantage. But I mean, it came out the way it came out, man. I don't know if you've seen my little video I put on the Reaction Facebook page, but I mentioned that I was like, man, like I was talking about why what I'm saying, just the level of competition, and I understood, like, dude, what I see you do, it's systematic. You watch somebody, you watch somebody enough, and it's like, I get it now. I get it now.
Yeah.
And I don't know who might have the answers for you. Actually, I got one guy in particular. I'll mention him to you later. So I mean, clearly you expect to win this fight. You expected to win the rematch against Reaper. That is, at the very least postponed right now. How do you see this one going, or do you want to get into it?
The fight with Deady.
Yes, sir.
I see the fight. I see it ending. I see it ended within 2 rounds for sure. You know what I mean? I know the first round is gonna come. He's gonna bring it to me. He's gonna be in my face, probably trying to knock me out or maybe submit me.
Right.
But I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna have my hands up. I'm gonna be moving, and then as my game is always, I'm just looking for the finish. Whether it's a submission or knockout TKO. So I'm gonna just be there, doing what I do best, and that's winning.
Hey man, that is what it is right there. Shoot. Do you know? All right, so this is kind of a side note point here. Do you know Slimbo Rice?
I do, I do. I actually we talked a few times at the events, and he was in my inbox. He's another guy that wants to, fight me in the future. For my belt and stuff like that. And we talked about it. Like, yeah, it'd be an honor and pleasure.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get it one day. I watched his last fight with a Heart of Stone, and I was really impressed. He was able to submit a guy like that. Heart of Stone is as tough as any customer you get, and then he was able to stop him in the fight. I believe it was the first round, if not the second. I'm mistaken, but I believe it was the first round. And I was impressed. You know what I'm saying? And I slid in his inbox. I'm like, yo, man, you're looking like a real contender, man. I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Now, I think, okay, right now, how much are you weighing?
Right now, I am 157 pounds.
Okay. So it does make sense. Okay, so the range of lightweight is probably 140 plus until what?
Oh, it's 145 to 155.
145, 155. Okay, so it's just a couple pounds. It's nothing too.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, because I was watching Slimbo, man. I watched him versus, I want to say the guy's name was Gavin. That was before Heart of Stone, and it was a very nasty finish. He was.
Yeah, he caught him with a wicked guillotine as he was trying to step over. I was impressed with that one as well.
Yeah, man, the result scared me, bro. Goddamn, man,
yeah,
strangled.
The guy literally went to sleep. You just see him go. I was like, oh, nasty.
Good stoppage. Well, number one, good stoppage, but great instincts for the ref on that one. The refs get some shit sometimes, but honestly, unless you were right there, you might not have known. Slimbo had him. But yeah, finished Heart of Stone. So that was, I found it to be impressive. I'm still trying to gauge Heart of Stone and see how good he is. But that's I'll watch more videos. That's what I'll do. So, are you afraid of this puncher's chance that Deady the Puncher possesses, man?
I'm not necessarily afraid of it or nothing like that, but it's something you always got to be, aware of because anybody can be caught on any day. I could be caught, he could be caught. So I'm aware. I'm pretty sure he's a bigger guy. Everybody I fight is usually pretty bigger than me. He looks more, I want to say maybe top heavy at the least, but I feel like I maybe have a little bit more muscle tone on him, maybe because I'm a few pounds slimmer. Because I know he has to cut a little bit of weight to get down to my weight class, things like that. But I'm aware, of his punch, his punching power and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be cautious about that and just work around the game.
Right on. Yeah, that's what I'm most aware of when I watch, especially his more recent stuff, like his old stuff. It almost doesn't really relate. Now I'm sure some of those habits are still there, but watching his newer stuff, I'm like, oh, he's checked some of those, some of the wildness and. He used to throw a lead leg kick that would just have him off balance, crazy. It wasn't good, and it's looked better, but even still, I don't know, you and your team, y'all actually fight. Y'all see this shit for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching on camera, and I got one perspective. Two, if it gets uploaded to another channel, I don't know. Yeah, man. Shoot, man, was there anything you wanted to cover there, man? That's right. Your training. Has your training changed at all?
My training's, been the same, I train jiu-jitsu in the gi, then I do my kickboxing, then I do my strength conditioning, twice a week. So my training's, stayed the same. It's just, now I'm just, preparing for a Pacific opponent in Deady, right, and just getting ready and get it acclimated to what he does. And I'm working on my strength and weaknesses, and I'm looking at his strength and weaknesses, and I'm just getting ready for it.
So, okay, what does that look like as far as training for a specific opponent and that opponent being Deady this time?
So as far as training look like, I usually train 5 days a week. Saturday and Sunday is pretty much my rest days for my recovery. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm at 6 o'clock I'm doing kickboxing. 7 o'clock I'm doing jiu-jitsu. Tuesday, Thursday, 5 o'clock I'm doing no-gi jiu-jitsu. 6 o'clock I'm doing cardio kickboxing. Then at 7 o'clock I'm doing strength conditioning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Tuesday and Fridays I'm sparring for kickboxing and MMA twice a week.
Jeez, boy, you out there getting it done, man. Golly.
Yes, sir.
You living the life for real.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's pretty good. That's pretty dang good. So, are there any specific things, if you can get into it, because I know this is all game plan.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you can get into, but is there anything that you specifically said, I'm trying to prove this go around, I want to, you know what I'm saying, I'm defending against this certain thing against him?
I know recently, he, despite, I know he said, beforehand he likes striking and things like that, but I seen his last 2 fights with Nighttime Guru and Joe. He's been initiating the takedowns, which is, a little bit, I believe, out of his comfort zone, per se. You know what I mean? That he normally doesn't do. So I got to be expecting the unexpected. I can be expecting him to punch and swing with me. Then he might be able to surprise me and take me off guard and take me down. When I'm the guy who usually takes people down. So I'm just working those specific things, make sure I'm getting ready for maybe his takedowns if he shoot or standing up. So I'm getting well trained in both aspects of the game.
Right. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. First things first, you're skilled as fuck. That's obvious. There's no debate. There's no debate.
Appreciate it.
But I don't find it to be wise to even initiate that. I don't think anyone's really just tried to stand up with you, or it's as if they don't if you're not trying to take them down and they try to take you down, it's almost just right in your fucking wheelhouse. Like it didn't really matter. It's like you don't care either way. Sure, come at me, try to take me down. You have answers for that. Am I right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, I mean,
I knew what I was looking at. I knew what I was looking at.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing. I mean, a lot of people don't know. Just 2 weeks ago, I just got my purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is a very hard thing to accomplish. And I've been, training Jiu-Jitsu for several years, and all my major accolades and major titles as far as like state titles, national titles, and American Nationals. I won all those things in Jiu-Jitsu. So when it comes to the ground game, if somebody's on top of me, I'm on top of them. That's my world. You know what I mean? Right. And standing up too, I'm no slouch in my stand-up game. I've been working my boxing and kickboxing a lot. That's why I took that boxing master Grisby, just to show the fans that I'm not just this one-dimensional Jiu-Jitsu wrestler guy just trying to grapple and submit you all the time. I could actually box and stand up and trade, and I could be there as well.
Yeah. I felt when you took that match, it was for that purpose. You're proving the point. At the very least, you're proving the point, or you're just sharpening skills. You know what I'm saying? Taking an element away from you to develop another one. So I think anyone who saw that or even heard you're going to do it, they knew. They knew, oh, he's getting better. He's getting better. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, man. Was there anything else you wanted to cover, my brother? Because, you know what I'm saying, it's always good talking to you, brother.
I mean, you know what I mean? As far as like the fight and feature fights like that, like I said, Deady, he's a phenomenal competitor. He's very tough, and I can't wait for the fight. November 7th, I believe. What today is Saturday, so literally 3 weeks from now. We're gonna be going to war, and I can't wait to get in there and just weigh in. I just look him dead in his soul, and I get to see what type of man he is. I get to see whether he's the type of man that'll quit in the face of adversity, or he's the type of man that'll rise to the occasion. So that's what I'm really interested in seeing in Deady.